What is up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Wes Björnsson here, representing Country Crush. Welcome to the Grip, where we talk about arm wrestling, powerlifting, and strongman. Let's get into it. Hey, how's it going, guys? Wes Björnsson. It's been a minute since I sat down and did one of these style of videos, so I wanted to knock one out because I have a topic that I am particularly interested in talking about today, and that is the beauty, nay, the art of double fisting a dude. Gay jokes! What do I mean by that? Okay, I'm talking to the big guy on the team. You know, the dude who just runs through everybody, the swinging dick on the team. You probably would agree that you're not getting the workout that you could be getting. That when you don't have a dude that just really tax you and lets you just go 110%, sometimes you're not gonna be pulling off the workout you'd like to have. That being said, there's a way around it, and I think most of you know what I'm talking about. It is having one of the smaller guys, one of the weaker guys, I hate to use that fucking word, but it is what it is, use two hands against your single hand. Cool, we're all in agreement. We all understand that works. Here's the thing. I saw a video of Devin Lorette, you know, who is the swinging dick on his team, I promise you, playing against a guy, and the guy's having to use two hands. And Devin's getting a pretty good workout. I think there is a more efficient way to go about that. I'm going to show you some examples of stuff that I do with my team. And the last example I show you, I believe to be the most efficient, and I'm going to explain why. Alright, this is my boy Colin. He's a lifting buddy of mine. Dude's swole as fuck. Okay, so the first way that a lot of people do it is what you're seeing here. It is the smaller guy, the weaker guy, using two hands. He's turned in, and it's basically two biceps against your pinning power. That's cool. That's what Devin Lorette is using, and it works. But the downside is the other guy has no ability to pin you. This is only testing your offensive ability. You can see by the position here that if Colin wanted to pin me, he couldn't. He would have to switch his hands around and do something different. So, automatically, I think that's not a very efficient way for the littler guy to double fist your big honkin' ass. Now, what you're seeing in this clip is sort of the same deal, except the weaker, we're gonna call him Colin, except Colin's right hand is over top. This does allow him the ability to pin. So you can work a defensive angle from here. This is a superior version of double fisting than the last thing I showed you. The problem with this thing is, your dude, your man, he is going to end up breaking his own wrist back. Because he's got a shit ton of side pressure coming here. That wrist is going to give. It doesn't matter how strong, his wrist could be as strong as, you know, a brick, and it would snap. Now, you may say, well, he could move up top and grab onto your hand. Well, then you're creating false pressures. You're never going to feel pressure come from this way. If you're the big guy, you don't want to train false pressures. You want to train arm wrestling, and training false pressures will create bad habits. Now we're on to the next one. All right, what you're seeing here is one that a lot of guys do. This is I call it the Band-Aid. You have a third guy, got a band around your forearm or your wrist or your hand even, and you're arm wrestling the weaker guy, and the guy with the band goes. This is more effective than the other two. This feels a lot more natural. The problem with this is, you have to be insanely strong to beat that pressure, to beat that band pressure, especially if, like in the video you see here, if the third guy is just running. I mean, he's just football sprinting away from you. You're fighting not only your opponent, you're fighting, you know, 200 pounds of side pressure, or however fucking heavy the guy in the band are. This is almost the exact opposite of the problem with the first technique. You're doing this for defensive. You're doing this to see how long you can last here and here before you start to open up, and then you come back in, and then you do it again. This is not great for offensive. So, on the spectrum, this one's still above, but not perfect. Okay, so now we're on to this method. I call this ragtime. This is a new thing to me, and this is the most effective. This is the most effective in my opinion, with the exception of the very last way, the very last technique. What this does is you wrap a rag or a towel or whatever around your opponent's hand, or his thumb particularly, and it forces your hand to be open. So you're already, and remember, you want to start fair. We're not trying to cheat and practice. We're trying to get the good workout. So you're already straight locked, because it's like arm wrestling Jeff Dabe. So this gives the guy a huge amount of advantage and torque. Your hand is stuck like crazy wide open. I would say it adds probably 50 or 60 pounds of resistance, or feel of resistance to your opponent. This is a very viable method. This feels like just arm wrestling a dude with a big ass hand. It makes taking the hand a ton harder. It even makes going into the hook a little harder because you have to get around that big lump that is the towel or the rag or whatever the fuck you're using. So this is, on the spectrum, this is a 9. If you don't like the what I call the final technique or the superior technique, try this one, because I'm telling you, it's gonna work. And now we're on to the pièce de résistance. This is, in my opinion, this is the superior way for a guy to two-hand you. So you're wrapping a strap, single loop or double loop, it doesn't matter, around your hand and wrist. Hand and wrist, or just hand if you're doing a single loop. The smaller guy, the Colin, he grabs onto the excess, and he pulls. He's arm wrestling you with both this hand, this tricep, this lat, and this rear delt. And then obviously, you know, the pulling muscles in the left side, so pec and all that bullshit. The reason this is the most effective way to double fist a guy, in my opinion, is this feels exactly like arm wrestling. Colin, in this example, can add pressure in any direction that he would be able to naturally, if he were just, you know, a lot stronger. So say in this example, he can't break out of my post. Colin has the ability to pull to the side. Now I'm fighting side pressure. Then he can pull down on the strap, and now he's opening my bicep. It's like I'm fighting back pressure. He can even pull this way, and I have to pronate harder, you know, because now he's turning my wrist out. Or he can come up over my hand from the start, and we get the same effect. I have to pronate this way. This is the most effective way to double fist the big guy on your team. All the pressures that you feel are accurate to the table. It's just enhancing the other guy's strength. He can choose the angle from which he's attacking. If, say his wrist can't take your wrist, he can jerk straight back, boom. Fall back, now you're compromised and you're fighting his bicep. It is exactly like arm wrestling a stronger opponent. Anyway guys, I don't presume to fucking tell Devin Larratt how to arm wrestle. That's not what this is. It's just my opinions. I'm just some fucking fat guy who arm wrestles for fun. I think about this shit like I lay in bed and think about it because I have a problem. And this is, you know, this is the logical conclusion for what's the best way. I hope you guys got something out of it. If not, maybe it's just a little quick, goofy video. Big shout out to Colin for shooting the video with me. You look in great shape, dude. I think you're gonna kill it your next tournament. Dude's I think he got his pro card, bodybuilder. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. It means a lot to me every time I see comments or views or whatever. And if you dig the content, maybe give me a sub. It's your call, I'm not gonna push it. Anyway, I'm Wes Björnsson. This is The Grip, and I hope to catch you next time.